Alright my broskis, December is absolutely stacked with indie bangers. I don't know what kind of pact indie developers signed to drop everything within the same week, specifically the 4th of December, but my wallet is already crying in the corner. So let's dive into the most exciting and brutal indie releases coming this month. Kicking things off is High Fructose, a roguelite fruit slasher in first person. I want you to imagine that old fruit slashing mobile game, whatever it was called, I can't freaking remember. And I want you to imagine if that game was developed by someone who worked on modern Doom games and decided fruit deserved a much more violent ending. Yeah, that is High Fructose, developed by a former id Software developer. And in this game, you're a cute little animal swinging a katana, slicing fruits to upgrade yourself, while the game throws in puzzles, bosses, and a surprising amount of brutality. It takes a moment to get used to because of its speed and quirks, but once it clicks, oh boy, it gets real damn good. And yeah, there is a free demo out for it that you can play right about now. Up next is Transience, from studio lead, the YouTuber Big Fry, known for roasting bad indie shooters and indie games in general. So naturally, he said, fine, I'll make my own tactical first-person shooter. It is a story-focused, campaign-driven tactical FPS. It has a playable demo, but I haven't tried it yet, so I'm just going off the footage that I'm seeing here. And my concern with the game is that the AI seems kinda confused about its life purposes. But other than that, the game doesn't look half bad. It has some pretty sweet graphics to it. I like the general style of it with almost a retro-futuristic style to it. And I'm also rooting for the game because I want my tactical broskis out there to have a good experience with this, because I know a lot of you are going to jump into this. But I also want you to know that at the start of this journey, he said that the game would not cost more than 10 buckaroonies, but now it has a slight increase of 100% going up to $19.99. Why that is, I don't know, because I haven't followed his journey closely, so there might be a reason for it, I don't know, but now you know that that is the case. And let's be honest, I'm also here for the inevitable drama, because Big Fry, he attracts it like moths to a flame, and that's going to be really damn fun to follow. But as I said, deep down I hope it delivers. Tactical broskis, they deserve a win, and it drops on the 4th of December. And next up is, yes, another December 4th release. This one is basically an upgraded version of the Blood Fresh Supply remaster that we already have. It includes multiplayer and 2 legendary community map packs, and is essentially a remaster of a remaster. But here's the real kicker. If you don't own the OG remaster and you want the remaster of a remaster, you're going to have to pay 30 buckaroonies. If you own the OG remaster Fresh Supply, then it's going to cost you 10 bucks. But this only applies to the Steam version, so if you own it through GOG, you're out of luck. I own it through GOG, so I am out of luck, and I am not paying 30 bucks for 2 free community map packs, and a remaster of a remaster. It's just, it doesn't make sense at all. Apparently they had the base code or the base, and I don't know, something. They had something creating this one, so they actually were able to implement multiplayer, and it's more of a proper remaster than a remake, which Fresh Supply had to be in certain aspects. And yeah, I am excited to actually play Refreshed Supply, but my wallet is absolutely not excited to buy it. But I want to know, what do you think about this whole price and everything? Leave them comments down below and let's talk about it, broskis. And here we got a hack and slash roguelite that gives me kinda strong Diablo vibes, and that alone, it gets my attention. You fight, die, repeat while battling hordes of undead and monsters trying to send you and your claim to the throne of the world. There is a demo available right now, though I once again haven't had the time to touch any demos because life is a boss fight with no checkpoints. So it ain't easy. But style-wise, this game looks really promising, and the roguelite format might actually fit perfectly here. Fingers crossed that it works just as well as it looks, because I could really see myself enjoying a Diablo-style roguelite game. And you can also play this in multiplayer with your friends or completely solo. It is up to you. And now it's time that we dive into the world of fever dreams. Fever dreams with skating. Skating beauty, because this game is a visually surreal adventure where you're not just pulling tricks, you're skating through a cinematic trip with a narrative structure. Think Tony Hawk. If Tony Hawk suddenly became an art piece in a museum. The game is a linear, story-driven and stylish as hell game. And I love that we're getting something so weirdly unique in the skating genre. Cause I'm one of those kids who used to enjoy the living hell out of the Tony Hawk games on the PlayStation 1. But I haven't had the same urge to jump into the newer skating games for some reason. They just don't appeal to me anymore. So turning them into a narrative fever dream with tons of atmosphere, that's exactly what I need to be pulled back into the skating world. Humanity's fate is once again in the hands of gamers, but this time in glorious pixel-perfect carnage inspired by Terminator 2. You'll revisit iconic scenes, explore new story beats, meet familiar faces, and the whole thing just looks insanely hype. Multiple characters, multiple endings. Yes, just give me all of that pixely juiciness. Please, let this be the Terminator game that we have all been waiting all our freaking life for. It drops on the December 12th. And I am counting the days for this to release. And next up is Sleep Awake, a first-person psychedelic horror narrative experience from Blumhouse Games. Yeah, those Blumhouse. With Corey Davis from the Spec Ops The Line and Robin Fink from 9 Inch Nails, leading the charge in this game. Now this one, it dives into the terrifying space between being asleep and being dead. The last known city on Earth is losing its mind because anyone who falls asleep just vanishes. Gone. Poof. Pa-poopa. So people, they are doing whatever they can to stay awake in this. And let's just say, things go from a little unhinged to full-on cult apocalypse very fast. And I am down for that ride. You play as Katya, trying to solve puzzles, survive depraved insomnia cultists, and somehow stay awake while reality and hallucination melt into each other like a fever dream. Now, if the atmosphere in this game hits the way it should, with this creative team behind it, then this could be one of those horror games that makes you question whether you should turn off the lights or go to bed ever again. Alright, back to serious now. This is a dinosaur first-person shooter, and I personally waited for this one for years. The trailers that kept making it look better and better until the playtest earlier this year. Yeah, that playtest showed that the game needed a lot of polish to reach the level that the trailer was showing off. Visually, it looks gorgeous, but the gameplay and audio, they weren't quite there yet. The dinosaurs were super stiff, they had some weird audio to them, and the gameplay overall just didn't feel polished at all. But they do, however, have a new demo up on their Steam page, so I encourage you to try that instead of relying on my older impression video of that playtest, because I'm pretty sure that the new demo has had more polish to it than the playtest that I played had. And even though the playtest left a really bad taste in my mouth, I am absolutely rooting for this to become the dinosaur shooter that we all deserve. Semi-survival, dinos, chaos, and I just want that injected into my veins. It also drops on the cursed date of December the 4th. And last but not least, my broskis, is retro sci-fi. Oh, I love that theme so much. And this is Routine, which is giving serious alien isolation energy. Retro futuristic tech, tight corridors, and horrifying machines haunting your beating ass, living ass, your running ass. The game, it doesn't focus on combat. More evading, solving, and panicking as you try to not become scrap metal. And normally, I avoid these chase-based games like The Plague itself. But the atmosphere in this one, way too good to ignore. Simply cannot ignore it. And if they nail the tension build-up, we're in for something really special in this one. And of course, it's another December 4th release. Broskis, thank you a gazillion, million, trillion times for watching all the way to the end. You are bloody amazing. And sorry there is no camera. I kind of have to rush record things as life is right now. But I still love you very much. And if you want to, join the Discord link down in the description. It's a really, really cool place. And I will see you in the next one. Over and out.